Filming. Everything's ready. I look not as fat as. No, I look less fat. Let me get the guns right. Okay. Get it ready. Get it. All right. On episode 24 of RVA Real Estate Talk, we will talk about why so many people hate EXP Realty. You can edit that.
You're listening to RVA Real Estate Talk with Jared Davis and Galen Parker, your source for an honest, insightful look into Central Virginia's real estate market. Combined, Jared and Galen have over 20 years of experience in real estate, as well as hundreds of testimonials from clients past and present who rely on them for advice and assistance buying and selling a home in today's incredibly hot and competitive housing market. And now, your hosts, Jared Davis and Galen Parker.
I am Jared Davis.
And I am still Galen Parker.
We appreciate you touching base with us for episode 24 of RVA Real Estate Talk. If you have not liked or subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. If you have any questions, this podcast and our channel is really meant to help build agents' businesses, to help them level up with us. We're always around for questions or to help you. You can reach out to me at jared@centralvarealty.com, or you can call me at 804-536-6100. And Galen, how can we reach you?
I'm loving the DMs, the phone calls, the emails that I'm receiving. Please keep them coming. I really appreciate it. I love talking to you guys. It's Galen at centralvarealty.com. That's Galen at centralvarealty.com. Or, hey, give me a call. Shoot me a text, 804-274-9016.
There it is. So you know how to get a hold of us. Galen, what's new?
I am feeling jacked. We are sprinting through Q4. Tony is energized us.
Whew, how long has it been since we saw Tony Robbins?
I mean, it was like 6 weeks.
No, it's got to be more than that. I was in California for 2 weeks, and there was a blur to me. A solid gap, and I've been back for 2 weeks.
7, 8? Has it been 2 months? Has it really been 2 months?
I think it's been 2 months. We are still, my heart hasn't slowed down since I saw Tony. We've been doing
this thing called Ready, Set, Go. And
that's not Tony, but that's not Tony. But we'll give that to Ryan Serhant. We'll let him have that.
I like to send Jared a text message in the morning and say Ready, Set, Go, and he usually responds with, "My body's ready."
My body's ready. Normally, it's I'm in bed when he sends it to me. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm up. It's like he's my alarm clock. Galen's my natural alarm clock now.
The team is doing awesome.
150 deals plus this year so far. We should be racking the year out, hopefully just under 200. I was hoping to break 200 this year,
Me
but
too.
What are you going to do? Next year, 250 though?
250 for sure.
Dude,
I love the fact that we've got agents that started with us April,
May, yeah.
And now we're having conversations where they're like, "Hey, I'm on my third, appointment. I've got an investor question. We've got a house under contract. This is falling apart." It's just like, even if an agent calls you and says like a deal's falling apart, that tells me that what?
You at least got deals.
They've got deals. They're doing real estate work. If you never call us, if we never hear from you, we're just like, I don't know what you're doing. But for the most part, our team is just going full bore, and it makes me so happy. It gives me all the warm feels.
We're growing. 23 agents. We want 40 over the next 12 months.
How many people now?
23. We have 23 agents. We're trying to get to 40 by 2022. Which I think is totally feasible. I think every day we get calls. It's just we've been a little bit slower to hire these days, right? When we started building, I was like, "Come on in now."
You get a team spot. You get a team spot.
Now we got to be a little more selective because of just capacity. How much office space you have, how much how many accounts you want to have in Sierra.
Assigning leads to actual people who are
making
going to
sure they get it.
We've got leads. We want to give the leads to the right people.
Training one-on-one time. Obviously, the more people you get that want the one-on-one. You just want to make sure that they're using it wisely.
When I came to the studio this morning, Jared was on the phone with Cameron, which I loved because the last realtor phone call I had last night was Cameron, and the first missed call I had this morning was from Cameron.
Working.
And I was like, I love that. Never think you are bothering when you call me at 804.
Cameron, you're coming to Vegas with us.
We love it. So,
Vegas, EXP Con?
Vegas or bust. What? Okay, this is great. Jared, why do you say that? What did you offer the team regarding Vegas?
I am buying everybody's tickets to Vegas as long as they put at least 3 deals under contract before November. So they've got at least 3 deals.
And we started we didn't just start. We started that right when we got back from Vegas.
What does your media guy have to do?
I don't know.
10 deals?
Pay for a ticket?
Get a hotel room? USA Wings?
Hey, you can make it back the first day. So it's almost like it's a free trip. It's
I mean,
a
think about
write-off.
all the agents you're about to meet if you come with us to Vegas.
Oh, I was
Mike.
thinking he was going to gamble his money back.
Ooh,
I
not
thought you
bad.
were just going to
Put that Tesla up on black.
Yeah, you just look. Whatever the trip costs you, take that much money
No
with
respect
you.
here. No respect.
Look, whatever. Let's say it costs you $1,000. You take $1,000. You put it on red on roulette. You double your money, and you're good.
I'm a baby to badness. I don't even know what these words mean.
Trips paid for. You're good to go.
I know I'll have two views of it because you guys have your phone in your faces, filming everything
I mean,
where you're at.
no, Galen
2021.
will have his phone in my face and his face. I'll take a bunch of videos that don't get on social media, which I'll use to blackmail him later with.
I'll
That's
go.
never happened.
I'll go if we're going to film everything and do.
I can now contractually never leave the Davis Group due to footage.
Exactly.
I'm here
We'll
forever.
document everything.
We have at least 8 agents coming on my team.
That'll be content to be people to be interested
When
in.
we got back from the last with Tony Robbins, me and Galen were so pumped, and it was like nobody else had that same energy because they didn't come. So I vowed, I was like, everybody on the team that can
Never
come
again.
needs to be there so that we can all come back pumped.
All right.
So it's going to be good. Anything else new? What are we? A couple minutes in? I mean, Mike's got the timer off. Oh.
We're good.
Let's see. Anything?
So we
somebody
didn't
just went
talk
2
about
weeks
we
in.
didn't talk about depreciation because the appreciation party.
That was great. We had, I mean, probably.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like,
Man,
what?
it seems like it's just been flying
So
by so
long.
hard. Yeah, we just did our client appreciation. And first time we skipped last year because of COVID. We had probably about 80 people out. It was supposed to be a little over 100, but we had some really bad like warning storm weather and some stuff changed.
We had a
It
lot of fun.
rained.
Yeah, I got drenched on the way out.
I got something. It
Client
was great.
appreciation party. We had it at Casa del Barco in Short Pump.
I know what we're going to talk about.
It was amazing, and now we're going to go to what Jared's about to talk about.
Sorry, client
No,
party.
I love it. No,
Client party is great. Thank you guys for coming. Agent attraction.
Appreciate
now.
you.
We started cocktails for closers.
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of happy hours and appreciations, we deal with agents all day long. They yell at each other. They're in deals. They want to murder each other. So we figured, why not just drink together and have fun?
Let's bring some civility back to this thing.
That's it. Cocktails for closers, starting in Richmond, Virginia, probably this month. I'm
Probably
trying
this
to
month.
lock down the first event right this second. It's going to be awesome. We had,
Ideally next week because I'm out of town. after that
okay. Let's
for
do
2
it.
weeks.
Where are you going?
Let's powwow.
2 weeks. I'm going to Outer Banks, staying in a really cool house that's got like 12 masters in it. I'm pretty pumped.
Who's going
The
to try
primaries.
try each
Galen,
one?
12
Every-
primaries.
That's right. 12 primary residence rooms. So what we got to do, we got like a different group coming in week 1, and then they leave, and then a different group comes week 2. I'm the constant.
It's good. Just got back from California, 2 weeks there.
Beautiful.
Going to the racetrack this weekend for a VIR day and a pro race.
Sorry, I just hit a button.
At Formula One race in 2 weeks. There's a lot happening
Yeah.
outside of sales. I feel like we have a lot we could talk about, but we don't have to. Let's just deep dive. You ready to deep dive?
Dive it.
Mike, give me the deep dive. What's our tune today? Give me the track. Okay. This is actually kind of in line with that. Mike, not bad. This is in line with like the
I
Tony.
think you like this.
I like it. What does he say?
Thermostat?
Have a snack? Want a snack? Want a snack? Want a snack? Yeah, dude. The drop. Okay. I like it. Phase me out, but I like it. And then send me the track so I can put it in my car.
I'm definitely on that. I was like, now send that to me later so I can put that.
I'm gonna need a
I want
that's a-
all of our deep dive is going to be. by
that's a
that-
shower track. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
I have a shower track playlist for the morning. You know, when I get in the shower, my wife's still trying to sleep, and I'm like, go. Yeah, every morning. I'm like,
This morning I was like, this shower brought to you by Skrillex. At my house.
Put 'em on. This morning, I knew my wife wouldn't murder me. I got up pretty early to go pick up signs this morning, and I was like, I need music. I got to be pumped for podcast. Sorry, wife, you're gonna have to just deal with it.
it
All
done.
right, our deep dive today: why so many agents hate EXP? Why so much triggering?
Why is there so much hate?
There's a lot, and I don't blame them because. Before we came to EXP, I had a lot of hate as well, honestly. A lot of hate in my heart that I had to root through. So we came up with really about 3 key reasons that it makes total sense.
Sure.
I hear a lot all day long. So we wanted to break down why the triggering, why are so many agents against it.
Yeah.
Galen?
So here's the thing. The first one I would think is, it's nothing wrong with it, but the gung-ho agent, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I know this was kind of for us, the Gung Ho agent, they reached out to us, they texted us, they emailed us, they sent us videos. They're super pumped on EXP, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Once you get in, you're like, oh, that makes sense. I know why. But with like anything,
So why is everybody trying to recruit me all the time?
Exactly.
Right?
Like-
What's the catch?
like, what are you not telling me?
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the reasons so many people hate EXP because they feel like they're trying to get tricked into a multi-level marketing
Well,
scheme,
and
right?
here's also the thing, right? I've had agents be like, well, you know, there's this agent's at that brokerage and I'd never go there because they're there. Look, there's bad apples in every brokerage.
Everywhere you
Unless
go.
you're a single broker with no
Then you might
agents.
be the
And
bad
maybe you're a
apple.
bad apple yourself because why are you a single agent with no agents, you weirdo? Anyways, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding, James.
I wonder why they-
some of our best friends.
I'm just
are single
joking.
I wonder
agents.
why they hate us.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're very likable.
He's all jokes.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, but at the end of the day, right? We're with EXP,
With you.
and I have calls sometimes, like maybe once every 6 months. It hasn't happened a lot, but maybe like 3 times since we moved over, where I'll answer the phone and they're like, "Is this Jared Davis?" And I'm like, "This is Jared Davis." And they're like, "Yeah, you're killing it. You're doing so good. I just wanted to set up a call with an opportunity with EXP." And I'm like, I'm with EXP. And they're like, oh, really? And these aren't out-of-town agents either.
That's what I was
It's
gonna
like they're
say.
agents in town, and like, not to toot our own horns here, but there's only 2 mega teams in all of EXP in Richmond, and we're one of them.
I can see it happening to me, but your last name is Davis. It's like I got those calls too, and I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like, I just had dinner with like your CEO of your team. Like, we was just at his house. Like, he's like, oh, well, hey man, just keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. So I can see, like, I kind of laugh it off because I'm like, you're silly. But I think if that's the approach that people are taking, right?
Yeah.
That's a turnoff, right? I mean, think about it. Every broker is trying to recruit out there, right?
That is another
You know,
thing that
I've been hit
we'll
up
talk
this
about,
week
yeah.
by Destiny.
Final Fantasy?
I don't know.
The video game?
Somebody this week, James River Realty. I mean, probably 4 this week
River
have either
Fox,
called me.
United.
I'm getting automated text messages from brokers that are like, "We'd love to meet with you. Click S to stop." And you're just like, "Come on, you're not actually even
S.
making a real,
You're not even
You literally just put me
trying,
on a text
right?
stream." But the thing is, the difference is that you have typically one broker that's trying to recruit and bring people in, and now you get this model where there isn't really a single broker that owns. There's no franchises, so now all the agents have this reason to at least try to call you. So now instead of hearing from one broker, maybe you hear from multiple agents. So it magnifies. I feel
Sure.
like, right? And then that's a turnoff, right? I mean, no one wants to be
Because
recruited.
as a realtor, when your phone rings, it's your cash register.
You wanna
So
make
it's like,
money.
I want someone to be calling me and be like, "Hey, I want to list my house with you." If I get someone on the phone, they're like, "Hey, you're doing great. I love your online
Yeah.
presence." It's just like, "Hey, man, you just cost me money because
Yeah, you're
someone
such-
else could have been calling me."
You're
or I could
such
have
a
been calling
baller.
someone
I
else.
see your stuff all the time. I'm like, do you see the EXP logo on it when you called me about EXP? You know.
So that's the gung ho agent, which it can be a bit much. So we get it. We understand why some people might hate EXP.
But now, but we don't go to 2 yet. Are you
All
going
right,
to 2?
let's
We have to. But
you've
we
got
have to.
something else for 1.
I
Do
want
you
to.
think that they can't see that that's the 1 and 1 are together or 1 and 2 are together type of thing?
I think it really is just like there's bad agents everywhere in deals, and you're like, man, if I have to deal with this person again, it's going to be a nightmare. I think the same thing transfers over, right? If you're maybe not that good of a realtor on the sales side, and then you go and try to now all of a sudden be a recruiter because you think you can make money off of it, right? You're also not going to be good at that. You know what I mean? And so this is where it comes in. This is why I didn't want to go to 2 yet. That's the issue, right? So what's the solution? Well, the issue is that you have people out there that see a way to make easy money, just like there's plenty of people that get into real estate because they think it's easy money. It's obviously not easy money, right? It's a business. We know these realtors, and they're with every brokerage, right? So the difference is that the solution was we finally had somebody that we talked to that we felt like wasn't trying to recruit us, but that was offering value, right? What value are you adding? See, we do this podcast because we want to try to help give agents value. We want to try to help them grow, want to help them level up. When people call us about EXP or the opportunity, it's not a, ooh, we can make money off of this person. It's how do we help this person? Because if we help them grow, then we're all going to grow. And the issue is that you don't have a lot of agents out there that are under that mindset. Most are just with EXP to sell real estate. They're not recruiting. No one really cares. But then you get that bad name for those couple bad apples that are, right?
Yeah.
And so it's something that we address on team calls all the time. Don't be that bad apple that just wants to call to sell somebody. No one wants to be sold. When we tell our agents that when they sell their clients' houses, right? No one wants to be sold, but they love to go shopping with friends. Right? So don't be that agent that's selling every single lead you have. Be their friend and go shopping with them and make some money. So it's the same principle. If you're going to be at EXP and you're going to talk to people about EXP, you really need to add some value. And talking about rev share and stock and how much money they're going to make you really is not valuable. No one cares. We're in this to sell houses. Let's sell houses, but then let's show you how you can grow outside of that and grow your real estate business. And if EXP benefits you outside of that, fantastic.
And if you have questions about how can you offer value, feel free to reach out to us, because that's just like one of that's one of my big pet peeves, when people just like don't understand that concept of like offering value, making it, worthwhile. Like, what are you doing to improve their life? How are you changing their life? If you can't change someone's life, then like, why are you there? What's your point?
So our thing is we want to help people grow their teams. We're building out a whole Punjabi suite right this second with agent training so that people can watch videos on how to onboard, how to do buyer stuff, how to do contract stuff, how to do listing stuff, because we don't want to bring agents in only to lose them. We feel like that's the biggest issue with brokerages today. Right? If you want to leave your brokerage, why do you want to leave? Well, it's because a problem's not being addressed.
Average agent leaves every 2 years.
That's insane, right? And because the broker's either not around to help, they're getting charged for training that they don't need, or there is no training and they're getting charged, right? So there's always a pain spot, right? And so we want to address all of those pain spots. How do we make sure we're training? How do we make sure our agents that are solo agents are selling more? How do we make sure that our agents that want to grow teams are growing teams? How do we grow our team, right? Yeah. But the average caller is like, rev share in stocks, and they're like, we don't. It's like the stepbrother. It's like the stepbrother's
prestigious saying, prestige
worldwide.
I think and for those agents who are not doing it great, I get it. I totally get it.
Galen's the nice guy.
It's like I totally get it. We didn't always do it well, right? It's not like we woke up and we're like, oh, but we finally had to kind of sit down and just say like,
modest.
How do we create value? How do we come from a area of service? How do we do that? And once we kind of sat down and had that conversation with ourselves or with each other, then it was like, wow, this is a lot easier, because it's like, genuinely, how can I help someone?
Zig Ziglar.
Yeah,
what did he always say? You help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
Yeah,
right?
It's like, how do I help someone do something? And like a lot of times I think like initially you're like, oh, this guy, yeah, okay, I see you're trying to help me, but
what's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch?
What's in it for you?
Because that's how I am. That's how I definitely am. Like, even when they first brought like EXP to me, I'm like, okay, yeah. So what's behind?
What do you
the
get out
curtain?
of this?
Yeah.
100%.
But once I started realizing, like, man, I'm helping these people, and then all of a sudden people started helping me, and referrals started coming in, and I'm like, oh wait, what? Me just generally helping people is another faster way to rise my business.
And we are double, triple, quadrupling agent sales.
So if you don't think we're going to help you, call right now. Call our phones right now. We will help you.
So that's one reason.
Right.
And so we think as time goes on, obviously that will lessen. More agents will come in, but it'll get a better name, overall, because it's the fastest growing brokerage in the world. But we get it. So that's number one. Number two is the broker unsell is what I call it. Yeah.
This is your broker
the downsell.
Yeah, the downsell.
Yeah.
And something that you said a couple minutes ago really will resonate this. Every broker is trying to recruit agents, right? 100%. And so when your broker says like, oh, those are just recruiters, you should look back at him, hold a mirror and say, you are trying to also recruit agents. Yeah. And you know what people don't like? Competition.
That's it.
The broker, what are some of the things that a broker will tell someone when they're a top producer?
Yeah.
They're come up to, they're like, hey, listen, broker, I'm thinking about making a move. Mm-hmm. What do you think the broker will naturally say?
Well, I was the top producer at Remax when I left.
Sounds familiar.
So I will give you just the exact things that I heard. I sat down and I was told, no one knows this company. at all, right? Everyone knows Remax. Yeah, so it's not as known. You're going to go to this company and they buy the name. People are buying from you because it's Remax, not because you're Jared Davis. They're buying Remax and no one knows EXP. That was one, right?
Got it.
Second, again, the confusion over stocks and rev share. It was, how much are you really going to make on this rev share? Is it promised? Yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. They don't know anything about it, so then they try to downplay it, right? And then stocks, right? When we left, right, it's a penny stock. You're going to buy into a penny stock. And even then, the stock was like $6 or $7. So I was like, I don't know if you know what a penny is worth, but it's, it's
600 of those.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a lot more pennies, but again, it's a downplay, right? It's a
Sure.
training, right? Because we're a virtual brokerage. Now that we've gone through COVID, everybody's kind of gotten the hang of virtual stuff. That's been a huge help for us. But overall, before COVID, right, as it was hitting, it was very almost what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. It's not risque, but it's just different, It's just like, you don't have this brick and mortar place. What are you going to do when your broker's an hour away and you can't come hold his hand while you talk to him, right? I mean, it was just almost like this fear of like, you're not going to get the help and the training you need. You know what I mean? So you're going to have no support. You're going to have no office space. You're going to, they're going to be giving you this penny stock that's worthless.
So
right?
I wrote down 3 things that you said, and we're gonna address this, and we're gonna rely on Mike and Eddie and Ben and the rest of the team to help us with it. So no one knows this company, right? So this was what, 2019?
This was literally
at the end of 2018?
year and 9 months ago. A year and not even 2 years ago.
So no one knows this company. Where now? This is off the cuff, Jared. Where does EXP stand currently in the Richmond area?
We are the number 2 producing brokerage in Richmond.
All right,
as of this month.
So we went from no one knows this company, right, to now being the number 2 producing brokerage in our market.
And one, no offense, my Remax, our old Remax is still there, so this is not a blow to anybody. One Remax office already shut down in the area. Others, have lost a lot of their agents. I'm not saying they don't still produce, but I don't even think a Remax is in the top 5. Maybe I don't want to say names on here. There's one office, there's one bigger Remax that's left. There's 2.
Yeah,
and I think maybe I don't even know top 10. When I looked the last time, I didn't see it in the list.
I was listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube channel, which if you are into YouTube like we are, you obviously watch a lot of other YouTubes. One of the things that I heard that I didn't get a chance to fact check, but I trust this guy. He said that pacing for Q2 nationally, EXP is poised to overtake Keller Williams nationally for Q2 for next year, for 2022.
Incredible.
So it's like, so you go from no one knows this company to we are about to be the behemoth.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, and someone said they don't sell houses. Right.
Yeah.
That was the other thing.
That's a big one.
Because people call it a
They don't really
recruit.
sell
They're like,
houses.
they don't sell houses. But then when you look at the stats, you realize that we're
they sell a lot of houses.
Yeah, they did. We did $1 billion in revenue last quarter as a company. So you look at the sales, and not only is the sales up hugely, but it's the fastest growing company in the world from real estate, and we've got more agents onboarding than ever before as well. Mike?
All right, there's other industries that are going through the same thing, and the car industry is that industry as well.
Right.
GM, Toyota, all them. Tesla's the front runner right now. Like, it's just dominating because they're also worldwide.
They're a tech company.
They're
at the
a tech
end of the
company.
day.
They're the only manufacturer company in China right now that is not half owned by anything else.
Yeah.
And so the GM and Ford are looking at their motto of how they're doing things, how they're buying a car, how they're mass producing or whatever, and they're going to that. And this is the same scenario for the real estate.
And we say it all the time. EXP is a tech company.
100%.
It's like, I mean,
Verbella, look up Verbella. They own Verbella. I mean, all of the softwares that they're using with EXP World that have just gone up 700, 800% in value over the last couple years.
And I feel like a lot of companies are like that. Like before I came into real estate, I worked for a company. People are like, oh, you work for a trucking company? I'm like, yeah, we don't own any trucks because we are a tech company.
Yeah.
And like for people to, they're like, what? What does that mean? I was like, you're just going to see that over and over again. So, all right. So the second thing that you said that I wrote down, stocks, right? So I'm going to rely on Mike's team to put up a graphic of what the current stock price is for EXP.
Yeah, it's about $40 today, and
Right.
that's after the split. So it's
Perfect,
split
yeah.
2-to-1 over the last 16 months. So it was essentially $80 when you think about it. So
Yep.
it's from 80, and when we came in, my first shares a year and a half ago, I bought it about $3.50 a share.
Is that wild?
It's very wild, and I say
From
that
a penny to 80 to split to 4.
Yeah, from a penny. I wish it was a penny. If it was a penny to 80, I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be sitting somewhere else. But no, I mean, here's the thing. This is where the hate comes in, and you have to push through and funnel and say, all right, what's true?
Let's fact check.
Like the first step. Yeah, there's some issues with that recruitment side, so that's why we have to address it. And we as a company need to talk to some of these agents that are bad apples when they call us by accident and be like, hey, man, quit this. Let's talk about how to do this right, so that we don't get a bad name, right?
Yeah.
And as it grows, it won't matter, right?
We'll
They'll
help
get
you.
weeded out. It'll be all good. But now this is a thing where if I had to listen to this broker, I would have left hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table since I've left, let alone the future, right? I mean, who knows what it will be, with what's gained. So again, I hate to say it, just a lie, right? But a misconception. It was, I don't think it was implied that way. I don't think this person was trying to. They believed in their heart of hearts that this was the case, right? But I'm gonna have enough stock that I could just go buy their building and their company, with it. If I just, it's just
Sure.
It's like, man, if I had have listened to that misconception,
And I think a lot of it, as you said, it's not malicious. It's when I remember speaking with a broker, he mentioned, he was like me. He literally said, he's like, me and a couple of other brokers, we were talking about this. Mm-hmm. So it's like, they all are kind of like, and that kind of goes into number 3.
okay.
The first was gung-ho agent. Number 2 is the broker unsell. And 3 is just confusion.
100%.
Yeah.
Because think about it like this, and I talked to Galen about this earlier. If you were not with real estate, if you were just with a giant company of some kind, and you were one of their best employees, right? And you got another job offer, and you went to sit down with that broker, what's that boss going to try to do? I mean, he's going to try to reason, we don't want to lose you.
No.
Maybe we can change some of your benefits. In real estate, maybe it's lowering some splits, or maybe it's
Adjusting
desk fees, some caps, whatever it may be, right? But they don't want to lose you. They're going to try to think, all right,
They rarely adjust the caps, just FYI.
yeah, but here's, they're going to look at this and say, man, if we lose this, we lose this much money. So, they may not be trying to badmouth the competitor that this person's trying to now be hired by, but, they're not going to make it look good. Why would you? That's how they make their money, is off of their agents. So you have to understand that if we're the fastest growing real estate company in the world, every single other broker out there, especially the big names that have been around forever, where are most of the agents that leave going?
To EXP.
You can't not be threatened, right? In the sense of you're watching your revenue go away. I mean, we've got guys that are coming over that are equating to thousands of deals a year that are outfluxing out of their brokerages.
Yeah.
So can you imagine being a broker and you lose 1,000 deals for the year?
You might not be able to hold the door open if that happens for some.
You can't be happy no matter what. So the confusion comes in, and sometimes that confusion at that level can turn into desperation.
And then you got to go back to reason number 2, the broker unsell. One of the things that I recently respect so much is when we were in Dallas and there was like guys there and they were like, I was the broker at X. Mm-hmm. For an agent to leave, that's not that hard. But for a broker to leave and take everything, I mean, that takes a lot of understanding of numbers, potential. Yeah. So I always have such, and I talked to a couple of these guys, I was like, man, I have such respect for you because that's tough, man. That's a big move. I mean, that's moving your family to China and hoping it all works, right? That's kind of
you got guys, I won't name drop his name, but the biggest single brokerage in the country for agents that wasn't a franchise model, right? He had 900 agents.
You could probably drop his name, but yeah.
He left. Now, not all 900 came. He had about, I think, 300 that moved over when he left. But you got to think about a guy that was making, I want to say maybe $2 million, $2.5 million a year off of this brokerage, just cash flowing, right? To leave, I mean, how many of you, if you were making $2.5 million a year on your brokerage, would say, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to lose 2/3 of my agents in the process, but I think it's going to end up better for me in the long run. And again, less than a couple years later, just his rev share check's about $400,000 a month, something like that. So now that's equating to $3.5-4 million a year he's making plus off of just the rev share, and they still have the brokers, and they still keep the team, and they still keep the sales.
I mean, some of these guys, and we jokingly said it, but we were serious to our agents when we got back. It's just like, all right, this guy's making
$1 million a month.
$1 million a month. I'm like,
are you 1%?
1%?
As good as that guy?
What could you do with this amount of money per month? Like, would that change your life? And for everyone, it's like, yes, it would. We will help you get there. We can help you. You're not alone.
I can't stress that enough, and that's not the topic of this podcast because we're talking about the hate side of things. But again, I mean, I try to show our agents on our team, just look at just what the bonuses can do, because we've got some guys on our team that maybe they make an extra few grand a year. Maybe it's I mean, if you get to the point where you got an extra $4,000 or $5,000 a month coming in off of just bonuses, I mean, that's huge for most agents.
Awesome.
If you're an agent that's listening to this, I don't know what your bills are every month, but your average agent, you know what I mean? Let's just say they got a middle class house somewhere and they drive a middle class car. It's $5-6 grand a month to live for most people. On average. I'm not saying there's not countries or places that are cheaper, depending on where you're at, and there's obviously cities that are much more expensive. But if you had all of your bills paid for, man, I'll tell you, waking up every day to sell is a breeze. Yeah, you're not
Deep
thinking,
breaths.
oh gosh, I need this, And so that's been just a huge thing, obviously.
So I mean, there's reasons for the hate. These are kind of the 3 reasons that we kind of like sum up. It's like, why is there so much hate? Why are so many agents, when they hear that EXP, they hear those 3 letters, they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to identify them and just say, listen, we get it. But let's carve it out. Let's look at some of the facts and just say, is there really reason to hate? Like, if you're a reasonable thinking person who's trying to think, what's the best for me, my business, my family, closing your door. Maybe you sit down with an EXP agent, you look at everything, and it doesn't make sense. Hey, it's not the end of the world.
It won't be for everybody.
Yeah, it's like, we're not enemies. We're not mortal enemies. We still want you to come to cocktails or closers. We still want to have a good time with you. I want to hug you when I see you, high five you when you walk away. But we just want to, give you an idea. We get it. We get the hate, but from this side, it's nothing but love.
So then here's the thing. How do you address it? Well, if you're an EXP agent, don't be a weird recruiter, right? I mean, listen, if you're with EXP right now and you're listening to this, that is not the way to do it. Add value. You want to talk to somebody about the company? Tell them what you're doing that's so successful. Show them your marketing plan. Show them your softwares. Show them how you're going to help them double their business, right? No one wants to hear from you if you're just going to call for some rev share. That's not attractive, right? It's not attractive to me when we're with the company, right? So cut it out, right? Second, brokers and information, right? It really comes to a miscommunication and a misinformation. So what do you have to do to fix that? Well, one thing is just growth. As we grow, EXP's goal is in 10 years, we're going to be in 100 countries. And we're going to have 1 million agents. We will be by far the largest real estate company in the world. One of the biggest tech companies, right, in the world, already worth billions of dollars. It's worth more than the entire Rheology brands combined already, right, this second, which is a lot of them, right? Better Homes and Garden.
Right.
What's in there? Coldwell. Is Coldwell
Coldwell's
in there? Coldwell.
I don't know. I was like, look at these words.
Coldwell. I mean, one of the biggest real estate brands. We're already, $3 billion more, $4 billion more. So as it grows bigger, there will be less misconceptions, because there's still places in the country and other countries where they're like, I've never heard of EXP, right?
Yeah.
I just drove through California. I saw Compass's signs everywhere. I actually didn't see that much like Remax or Keller and stuff, but Compass was very big. See some Sotheby's, some stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't hardly see any EXP. So I could understand if you were out there, depending on where, maybe you're like, I don't know this company, right? Yeah. We also get the misconception of luxury, right? Everybody thinks that's another one of those sales, right? People are luxury agents and they say, oh, I can't move because, that name, I really need to be with that Sotheby's name.
Yeah.
Or no one will hire me. There's a guy that's a baller up in Vancouver that's with Remax. I don't think about Remax being luxury at all down here. It's not that we don't do it or they don't do it. I say we're not there with them anymore. But
right.
Same thing. Long and Foster's has Christie's, the luxury side. But, I don't think of them as luxury. But up there, he's like, everything luxury is Remax. That's just how it is.
You've got to be with
you have
Remax.
to.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because I think over time that's going to change. And so people's misconceptions will change as we grow. But then
you start to brand yourself for sure.
But then I think the biggest thing is just, man, talk to a couple people about it. If you've got misconceptions, the best thing you can do is ask a couple people.
Education.
That's it. I mean, don't listen to the broker about it. Talk to a couple EXP agents, see what they say. Talk to an ex-EXP agent if you can find somebody that left. I know some, well, actually I don't, but I've heard of agents that have left, right? Where they've just said this wasn't right for me. I've actually even seen on the boards where agents have left and then come back because they left maybe when the company was brand new, and they said, they didn't really have the broker support in my area yet, and then they came back strong, and I liked the idea of it, but we just didn't have the systems in place yet, and now they do. So that's something. Who knows? Depending on where you're at, maybe systems are still getting built out. We can help, though, and we're trying to launch as many countries as possible. So anything else, Galen?
Man, I love it. I love anytime we can address a need or a question that we keep seeing coming up. That's how we help. That's how we add value.
That's it. So we appreciate you listening in. This was episode
Thank you so
24.
much.
Again, if you want to reach out to us, you can call me at 804-536-6100. The Instagram _ the Davis Group as of now. Who knows? And then email jared@centralvarealty.com. Galen?
Feel free to call me 804-274-9016 or Galen, Galen, at centralvarealty.com. I love hearing from you, and I can't wait to hear from the next one.
Thanks for watching.
If you have a real estate question that you would like to ask Jared or Galen, reach out to them at jared@centralvarealty.com or Galen@centralvarealty.com. Who knows, it may even be featured on an upcoming episode.